Have you been to multiple doctors, gotten multiple tests done, and you still don't have answers as to what's causing your health issues? That was my experience. I'm Jennifer, an integrative healing practitioner. Before I was diagnosed with lupus and alopecia, I was sent to multiple specialists and had multiple tests run and even got skin and liver biopsies done. Except for my elevated liver enzymes, all the tests came back normal. I knew, though, that there had to be reasons for my hair loss and symptoms, but I was not getting answers from my doctors. It turns out that despite my lab work showing up as normal, I actually had multiple imbalances and deficiencies. I also found out that several genetic mutations were contributing to my symptoms as well. The tests that have given me the information I needed to get to the root causes of my symptoms aren't even run by most doctors. So you're probably wondering what those tests are. These are the 6 tests that can get to the root causes of health issues for most people. Test number 1, genetics. Has your doctor ever looked at your genetics? None of my doctors ever have. By looking at our genetics, we can see what genetic mutations we have that could be contributing to our health issues. For example, I have genetic mutations that cause me to be prone to high levels of sulfur in my body. Many people, including doctors, assume that if there is something you're genetically predisposed to, that there isn't much you can do about it, or if you have certain genetic mutations, then that's just how you are. It actually couldn't be further from the truth. Let's say, for example, heart disease runs in your family. You would probably do things like eat healthy, cut out processed foods and sugar, exercise, maybe lose some weight to help prevent getting heart disease, right? Well, just like doing what you can to prevent getting heart disease, you can actually take steps to ensure your genetic mutations don't activate. To help ensure that my CBS mutations, the ones that can cause high levels of sulfur, don't activate, I take steps to reduce stress, limit high sulfur foods, and take supplements to help my body detox the sulfur. Genetics also shows how your body should be breaking down serotonin and dopamine. This is important to know when you're working on balancing your neurotransmitters to help prevent mental health issues like depression and anxiety. Genetics can even tell you how quickly you break down vitamin D if you have issues converting folic acid from food into folate. If you need extra vitamin B12 support, how you break down estrogen, how your phase 1 detox pathway is functioning, and so much more. Test number 2 is an organic acids test or an OAT test. The OAT test shows levels of mold and yeast, how your mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of your cells, is functioning, how you are breaking down neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, how you metabolize fats, proteins, and carbs, and so much more. Remember how I said in looking at your genetics, you can tell how you should be breaking down serotonin and dopamine? Well, you can compare your genetics to your OAT test, which tells how you are actually breaking down serotonin and dopamine. That way, you know what support you need in balancing those neurotransmitters. Mitochondrial health is another marker on the OAT test. Our mitochondria affect energy levels, age-related diseases such as Alzheimer's, metabolism, hormone balance, mental health, memory, detoxification, immune function, longevity, and disease prevention. So if your mitochondria aren't functioning well, there are things you can do through diet, lifestyle, and supplements to help strengthen your mitochondria. Test number 3, full panel blood work. A full panel blood work includes a lipid panel, a full thyroid panel, complete blood count, complete metabolic panel, iron panel, homocysteine, and vitamins D3 and B12. So I look at optimal levels on blood work. The ranges that doctors often use are pretty wide. So you can still be considered normal and not feel well because you are outside of the optimal range. From blood work, we can see some of the imbalances you might have, nutritional deficiencies, how your kidneys and liver are functioning, and much more. My thyroid levels always came back normal whenever I had blood work done through my doctor. But I knew something was off because I didn't feel well. When I started analyzing my own blood work, I saw that my thyroid was actually underfunctioning. So now I'm taking the steps my body needs in order to keep my thyroid functioning properly. Test number 4 is the Dutch test. This test shows sex hormones and adrenals. Most doctors don't run this test, and it's too bad. It's the best test for hormones and adrenals because it shows how your hormones are being metabolized, how they're being broken down. If you're only looking at how much estrogen you have, for example, you might think that you need estrogen support if it's low. However, in seeing the majority of your estrogen is going down a toxic pathway, like the Dutch test can show, you can see that it could be contributing to symptoms of polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS. If you're a man, if your testosterone is showing up as low, a doctor might prescribe testosterone support. However, if the testosterone is going down a toxic pathway, supporting your body with more testosterone could lead to prostate issues. So the Dutch test also shows free and metabolized cortisol and cortisone. This can help in assessing how your adrenals are functioning and what support and supplements your adrenals need in order to function optimally. Other markers on the Dutch test are circadian rhythm, clues to how your detoxification pathways are functioning, nutritional markers, neurotransmitter metabolites, and much more. When I ran a Dutch test for the first time, I found out that I had gut dysbiosis and estrogen was being absorbed in my gut. And knowing that information, I was able to start taking the right supplements that help with that. Speaking of the gut, that brings me to the next 2 tests, tests 5 and 6. The Para-Wellness test and the GI map test. These are the 2 important tests to run to indicate gut health. The Para-Wellness test shows parasites and protozoa. So we obviously want to know which pathogens we have in our body so that we can eliminate them. Believe it or not, the protozoa in your body can be contributing to your health symptoms. Some protozoa produce ammonia, which can lead to joint pain, fatigue, brain fog, and other issues. Sulfur converts to ammonia in the body, so if you have genetic mutations like I do that can cause higher sulfur or mutations that make you prone to high ammonia levels, then the extra ammonia produced by protozoa can cause even more issues. In addition, parasites in protozoa could be causing more stress and nutritional deficiencies since they are taking away resources that your body needs for immune function and other important processes. The GI map test shows bacteria and yeast. Overgrowth of bacteria and yeast will add to imbalances in the gut and symptoms such as fatigue, brain fog, skin issues, digestive issues, and mood issues. Just like parasites and protozoa, an overgrowth of bacteria or yeast could be causing immune dysfunction, inflammation, nutrient deficiencies, or absorption issues, and even autoimmune diseases. It's important to work with a practitioner who knows how to properly prep for both the Para-Wellness and the GI map tests, and they know how to get rid of the biofilm that the pathogens produce so that those pathogens show up on the test results. I know this can sound overwhelming, but really just these 6 tests get to the root causes for the majority of people. Once you know what nutrients your body needs, what imbalances you have, and what your detox pathways need in order to function optimally, the support can be customized based on your own results. It's best to test and not guess. If you start taking supplements or even vitamins and minerals that you think your body needs, it can cause more harm than good. I hope this helps, and if you're looking for a practitioner, you can go to holisticwellbeingih.com and sign up for a free 20-minute health assessment.